Hello everyone, I, Professor Subramanya Hegde, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics, welcoming you all for the lecture series on utilization of electrical power. Subject code is 17E742 for 7th semester, module number 1 and lecture number 9. Contents covered in this lecture. Today I am going to explain the modern welding techniques like tungsten inert gas welding, metal inert gas welding, laser welding, slag welding, plasma welding. Okay. The learning outcomes of this lecture is, after this lecture, student will able to understand the working of different type of modern welding techniques. The techniques are mentioned here. Contents covered in previous lecture. In previous lecture, we studied definition of welding, application of welding, and classification of welding like resistance welding and electrical welding. Welding is a process where two metal or non-metal contacts, non-metals are joined together by applying pressure or by heating the metal or non-metal particles. Okay, the welding is broadly classified as fusion welding and non-fusion welding. Fusion welding means rise the temperature of the metal or non-metal up to its fusion point. Later pressure is applied or the welding process is done. The second one is a non-fusion. Okay, increasing of the temperature not up to the fusion point of the material. Okay, later the pressure is applied and two metal particles are or non-metal particles are jointed. Again it is subclassified as based on electrical energy, based on chemical energy, based on mechanical energy. Okay, the welding processes are broadly classified. In fusion welding, the welding is classified as welding is classified as based on electrical energy and chemical energy. Chemical energy, carbon arc welding. In the chemical energy, on two types, gas welding and thermite welding. In electrical energy, so it is subclassified as arc welding. In that carbon arc welding, uh, shielded, unshielded, and metal arc welding, shielded, and shielded again the subclassification shielded metal arc welding, inert gas welding, TIG, MIG, MEG, submerged arc welding, atomic hydrogen welding, and unshielded. Then other process plasma and laser. Okay, the non-fusion based on chemical energy, that is forge welding, oxyacetylene welding. Then based on mechanical energy, friction welding, ultrasonic welding. Then electrical energy, spot welding, seam welding, projection welding, butt welding, flash butt welding, upset welding. So these are the classification of welding. And last class we studied the spot welding, okay, which creates the hole on metal plate. Two metal plates are overlapped. Then with the help of two electrodes, the heat is applied to the metal. The heat is localized at one particular point. It makes the hole. Later, the two particles are fixed with the help of nuts and bolts. Okay. Next one, projection welding. Multiple holes are connected at a time. Multiple holes are created at a time. Then seam welding. Okay. With the help of roller electrodes, the two metals are jointed. Then flash welding by creating arc, two metals are welded. Separate transformers are used. Low voltage transformer is a welding transformer, step down transformer. Okay. In order to increase the power factor, capacitors are connected across the circuit. So these are the contents covered in previous class. Okay. Also started the arc welding, the carbon arc welding and metal arc welding. The filler rod is required to increase the welding efficiency. It avoids the mixing of nitrogen and oxygen with the metal pool. The next classification of carbon arc welding is atomic hydrogen arc welding. In the hydrogen arc welding, uh, the heat is obtained from the alternating current arc drawn between the two tungsten electrode, okay, in an atmosphere of hydrogen. This is two tungsten electrodes are shown here. Supply is applied to two tungsten electrode. Okay. The hydrogen is supplied to the welding process in order to avoid the contamination of metal pool. it hydrogen creates a shield and it avoids the mixing of nitrogen and oxygen to the metal pool. As hydrogen gas passes through the arc, the hydrogen molecules are broken up into the atoms and they recombine on contact with the cooler base metal, generating intense heat sufficient to melt the surface to be welded. Together with the filler rod, if used, the envelope of hydrogen gas also shielded the molten metal from oxygen and nitrogen and thus prevents the welding metal from deterioration. This type of welding is normally used for high grade work on stainless steel and most non-ferrous metals. It's expensive. The advantage is give strong and ductile sound welds and quite thick section can be welded, and the arc and weld zones are surrounded by the burning hydrogen which would be active reducing the agent protects them from atmospheric contamination, can be employed for materials too thin for gas welding. Okay, so it creates a shield, hydrogen shield. It reduces, it avoids the contamination, so it increases the welding efficiency. The next type of welding is gas welding, that is inert gas welding. In that, most widely used inert gas welding is tungsten in inert gas welding. Okay, the tungsten electrode is shown here. So arc flame, the base metal, molten metal, AC supply is applied to the molten metal plate and the tungsten electrode. The arc is formed between the tungsten electrode and the material to be welded. The heat necessary to melt the metal is provided by wearing intense electric arc which is struck between a virtual non-consumable tungsten electrode and a metal workpiece. This electrode is not consumable, it is non-consumable. As in when the welding process increases, the length of the tungsten element not decrease. Okay? The electrode does not melt and becomes a part of the welding. On joints where filler metal is required, a weld rod is fed into the weld zone and melted with base metal in same manner as that used with oxyacetylene welding. The weld zone is shielded from the atmosphere by an inert gas. Inert gas is used to avoid the contamination, okay, from the nitrogen and oxygen gases. So it creates a shield. Inert gas creates a shield. The main parts of the TIG welding is it consists of water supply, source of water supply, and supply of inert gas complete with house regulator, and standard shield arc welding machine complete with cables, and TIG torch which control switch to which all the above are connected. The electrodes are made of the either pure tungsten or gin uh, zinconated or thoriated tungsten. Addition of zirconium and thorium to 2% greatly improves the electron emission. The major advantage of TIG arc welding is TIG welds are stronger, more ductile, and more corrosion resistance than those of shield metal arc welding. No flux entrapment in the bed. Since no flux is used here, flux coated electrode is not used. A wide variety of joint design can be used since no flux is required. TIG weld provides protection to weld bed from atmospheric contamination. Inert gas avoids the contamination. No post-welding cleaning is required. No, no weld splatter or spark that would damage the surface of the base metal. Suitable for all welding positions. Suitable for welding food or medical container where entrapment of any decaying or uh, genic matters could be extremely harmful. Relatively fast welding speeds. The TIG is most widely used to weld aluminum and its alloy, stainless steel, magnesium alloy, nickel base alloy, copper base alloy, carbon steel and low alloy. TIG can also be used for the combining of dissimilar metals, hard phasing and the surface of metals. So this is all about TIG arc welding. The next one, metal inert gas welding. It is also called a MIG arc welding. Okay, so here a consumable electrode is used. That's why a roller driving wheel is used. As and when welding process increases, the length of the electrode reduces consumable. Okay, so remaining things are similar to the TIG. So here tungsten electrode has been replaced with a consumable electrode. The electrode is driven through the same type of collect that holds a tungsten electrode by set of driveways. The consumable electrode in MIG process acts as the source for the column as well as the supply of the filler metals. This process can deposit large quantity of weld metal at the fast welding speed. This process is easily adaptable to semi-automatical or fully automatic operation. The three basic process of MIG welding is bare wire electrode process, magnetic flux process, and flux cored electrode process. It consists of welding power supply. Here power supply is shown, welding power supply. The inert gas supply with the regulator and flow meter. Inert gas is supplied to avoid the atmospheric contamination of molten metal pool. It creates a gas shield. Then fire feed unit containing control of wire feed, gas flow and on-off switch of MIG torch. Then MI torch and water cooling unit depending on ampere ratings. The main advantage of MIG is welding process requires no flux, high metal deposition rates of 2 to 8 kg per hour, adaptable for manual and automatic operation, requires no post weld cleaning, easy to operate, can be employed for wide range of metal, both ferrous and non-ferrous, provides complete protection to weld bead from atmospheric contamination. Uh, it's suited for horizontal, vertical, and overhead welding positions. The main application, practically all commercial availability metals can be welded by this method. It can be used for deep groove welding of plates and casting, just as the submerged arc process, and but in more advantages on a light gauge metal where high speed are possible. The next one, the modern welding technique is called as laser beam welding. Okay, laser beam welding, power supply, capacitor bank, trigger, then flash tube, laser beam, focusing lens, and workpiece. The laser welding process is the focusing of monochromatic light into in extremely concentrated beams. It employs a carefully focused beam of light that concentrated treat tremendous amount of energy on a small area to produce fusion. Okay, light is focusing on one particular area, the temperature is raised, the workpiece temperature is raised. When it reaches to the fusion point, the power supply is disconnected from the unit. Okay, the laser welding system comprises the following. It consists of electrical storage unit, power supply, then capacitor bank, then trigger device, then flash tube that is wrapped with wire, laser material, laser beam, then focusing lens mechanism, work table operated in three axis XYZ. When capacitor bank is triggered, energy is injected to the wire that surrounds the flash tube. This wire establishes an imbalance in the material inside the flash tube. Thick xenon often is used in the material for the flash tube, producing high power level for very short period of time. The flash tube or lamps are designed for operation at a rate of thousands of flashes per second. By operating in this manner, the lamp becomes a efficient device for converting electrical energy into light energy. The process of pumping the laser is then activated. The beam is emitted through the coated end of the lasing material. It goes through a focusing device where it is pinpointed on the workpiece. Fusion takes place and the weld is accomplished. The major advantage, This process can be used to weld dissimilar metal with widely varying physical properties. Metal with relatively high electrical resistance and a parts of considerably different sizes and mass can be welded. Because the laser is simply a beam, no electrode is required, so that any part in particular position can be welded if there is a direct line of sight from beam to the workpiece. Weld can be made with a high degree of precision and on material that is only a few thousands of centimeter thickness. A laser welding holds thermal distortion and shrinkage to a minimum. This is all about laser welding. The next one, plasma welding. So this is a diagram of plasma welding. Plasma is often considered with the fourth state of matter. The other three are gas, liquid, and solid. Plasma results when a gas is heated to a high temperature and changes into positive ions, neutral atoms, and negative electrons. When a matter passes through one state to another state, latent heat is required to change into steam. And similar, the plasma torch supplies energy to gas to change it into plasma. When the plasma changes back to a gas, the heat is released. Any high current arc is composed of plasma, which is nothing more than any ionized conducting gas. The plasma gas is focused through a torch surrounding the cathode. The main function of the plasma gas is shielding the body of the torch from the extreme heat of the cathode. Argon and argon mixture are most commonly used gases. Plasma arc consists of an electric arc plasma gas and gases used to shield the jet column. The equipment necessary for plasma arc welding includes a conventional DC power supply with a drooping voltage output with 70 open line voltage. The two main electrodes of torch for welding and cutting the plasma are transferred arc and non-transferred arc. So your shield is shown. Okay, so AC pilot arc starter, this is plasma gas. Okay, shield gas in order to avoid the contamination, it's a plasma jet. The transferred arc plasma jet torch is similar to the TIG torch except that the as the water cooled nozzle, here water cooled nozzle is shown, that a water cooled nozzle between the electrode and the work, the nozzle constrict the arc, increasing its pressure. The non-transferred arc torch extends the arc from the electrode or the cathode to end of the nozzle. The nozzle acts as an anode. This type of plasma jet is completely independent of the workpiece with the power supply contained with the equipment. The next one, electron beam welding. The welding operation is performed in a vacuum chamber with the help of performed vacuum chamber with the help of supply focused beam of high velocity electron. The electrons, after being emitted from a suitable electrode, they are accelerated by a high anode voltage and are then the focusing into the fine beam which is finally directed to the workpiece. Electron beam produces intense local heat which can melt not only the metal but can even boil it. The proper focused electron beams can completely penetrate it through the base metal, thereby creating a small hole whose walls are molten. As the beam moves along with the joint, it melt the material coming the contact with it. The molten metal flows back through the previous melted holes where it focuses to make a perfect weld for the entire depth of penetration. The main advantage, it produces deep penetration with little distortion. Its input power is small as compared to other electrical welding devices. Electron beam is much narrow than the fusion welding. Its high deposition rate produces welds of excellent quality with only a single pass. It is the only process which can join high temperature metals such as uh, columbium. It is especially suited for the welding of beryllium, which is being widely used in the fabrication of industrial and aerospace components. The next one, electroslag welding. The diagram of electroslag welding is shown here. This process is vertically and uphill. Two copper shoes, so base metal, weld starting plates, zone. So here it is shown the parts 1 to 9, plates to be welded, copper shoes. So plates to be welded, the copper shoes, then wire gauge, then fourth one electrode, okay, the molten slag, fifth one molten puddle, then solidified metal, weld bead, then starter plate, is the starter plate. This process is vertically and uphill. Two copper shoes, dams, and molds must be placed on either side of the joint that is to be welded in order to keep the molten metal in the joint area. One or more electrodes can be used to weld a joint depending upon the thickness of the metal. The electrodes are fed into the weld joint almost vertically from the special wire guides. Electrodes need to be of special oxidized nature, but they may contain flux if it is needed. A mechanism of raising the equipment as the weld is completed, and AC power source that has approximately 100 ampere output as a 100% duty cycle are needed. Electroslag welding depends upon the generation of heat that is produced by passing an electric current through molten slag. The major advantage: lower flux consumption, high deposition rate 20 kg of weld per hour, owing to uniform heat of weld area, distribution and residual stresses are reduced to the minimal amount. No special joint preparation no special joint preparation is required. A weld is accomplished in a single pass rather than in costly multiple passes. Theoretically, there is no maximum thickness of the plate it can be welded. There is also no theoretical upper limit to the thickness of the weld bead. Requires less electrical power per kg of deposited metal than either the submerged arc welding process or shielded arc process. So this is all about electroslag welding. So conclusion: the tungsten inert gas welding. In inert gas is used to avoid the atmospheric contamination of the welding part. It avoids the mixing of oxygen and nitrogen to the molten pool. In hydrogen arc welding, hydrogen gas is supplied. In inert gas welding, argon gas is supplied. In inert gas, consumable and non-consumable tungsten electrode is used. Non-consumable tungsten electrode welding is called as tungsten inert gas metal arc welding. Okay, consumable electrode is used in order to push the electrode. A driving wheel is used, that is MIG. Okay, the power supplying unit is required, torch is required. Okay, the welding process is very fast. The next type of welding, laser beam. A laser light is focused with the help of focused beam on a particular area to one point that increases the that increases the temperature of one particular point, and it reaches the when temperature reaches to fusion point of the metal, then electrical supply is disconnected, then plasma changing the state, then welding process run through the plasma state. The next one, the slag welding. Okay, also it's the electronic welding. So modern welding techniques like laser welding, plasma welding, slag welding, TIG, MIG is the welding process. This lecture is under understanding level. Okay, because here the explanation and construction of the different type of modern welding techniques. So these are the reference books. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you one and all.